Good evening and welcome to our fifth broadcast here of Grandview High School football on the Slice Network. I'm Heath Cooper alongside Coach Randy Ferris, the boys basketball coach here at Grandview High School. We're looking forward to tonight's game, which has a lot of district implications, Coach. And we look at Grandview last week coming off a big win over Belton, now sitting at 3-4. Look at the Kearney Bulldogs last week losing to a really good Staley team, 35-30, and they're 4-3, and both those teams are almost neck and neck. Tell us a little bit about Kearney.
Well, Kearney has been a traditional power in local football for several years. They've had several people playing in the Big 12, 2 or 3 playing for Mizzou. They've been a power, and this year they're down just a little bit. But notice, they schedule the Staleys still because they want to play the big boys. And so for us, we've got to step up to play the big boys because Kearney really has a nice squad. And at this time of the year, we can point out some individuals. On defense, they've got a really stout linebacker named Max Philbeck, who's averaging 10.1 tackles a game. And then that's not enough. Number 93, Cole Everett, is averaging 9.4 tackles a game, and he's a freshman.
Wow.
And so Kearney's got the kids now, and they still got them coming, and they're growing them. On offense, we got Brock Broughton, who's one of the best rushers in the area. He's gained 1,160 yards already in the season, and he's averaging 6.7 yards per carry. And then their quarterback, Cole Davis, is already over the 1,000-yard mark. He's got 1,150 yards, and he's got a 54% passing percentage. They run a variety of things on offense. They run traps, counters, play action. They run a lot out of the Wildcat. When they beat Lee Summit earlier this year, they actually scrapped their offense at halftime and ran the Wildcat the entire second half with Broughton just taking the snap. And then they also run a little bit out of the pistol so they can spread you out and throw the ball around. For us, for the Bulldogs, a couple of players to watch for us to slow down this Kearney juggernaut. Defensive lineman Josiah Quick had one of the best games for a Grandview Bulldog last week. In fact, it was a monster game versus Belton. He basically controlled the line of scrimmage. We will need a big game out of Josiah Quick on defense. And then offensively, quarterback Ryan Lee had one of his best games as a Grandview Bulldog, both as a passer and as a game manager. And we will need him to control the Bulldog offense and to have a diversified Bulldog offense, both the pass and the run, so that we can attack this Kearney Bulldog team.
Now, Coach, we talk about this every week, and it changes almost weekly, and that's district standings. We talked about, Grandview at 3-4, Kearney at 4-3, both teams kind of really close, kind of in that middle. How do the districts look right now, and how could they play out maybe this Friday night?
Well, the district got turned over. As we spoke in the pregame show last week, Harrisonville was playing undefeated Oak Grove, a 3A team. Harrisonville lost to them.
Wow.
And so Oak Grove is now in the driver's seat to play for the 3A championship later on in this fall. Bolivar at 6-1 is ranked third. Ray South moved up with a victory over Raytown last week to second, and Nevada is ranked first. Now, those would be the 4 teams that would host home games, and because we are ranked 5th in the district, we would play at Harrisonville if the districts were held tonight. Now, still a lot of things can happen because Bolivar is playing 6-1 Springfield Catholic, and Ray South is playing Lee Summit. So anything can happen in those games.
Okay, and just like every week, we try to bring you a special guest here on Slice, and this week we have the director of the Blue and Gold Brigade, Mr. Danny Watring. Mr. Watring, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Heath.
Very proud tradition here at Grandview High School with the Blue and Gold Brigade. You've been here a number of years. Maybe tell us a little bit about the history of the Blue and Gold Brigade.
Absolutely, I can do that. Well, this is our 29th year that we've been a completely volunteer marching band, which means we do not practice during the school day at all. We practice before school every morning. We're out on this field at 6:15 every morning, and we practice on Tuesday evenings and Thursday evenings as well. And we're very unique in that respect in the Midwest, I think, in Missouri and Kansas especially. And as well, we march 8th graders. And 8th graders are selected into the group. They have to audition for the group. And this year we have 94 kids in our band. And they're all here because they want to be here. They want to get up at 4:30 in the morning and get ready and come out here and freeze to death like this morning. It was quite chilly when we were out here practicing. But so that's a long-standing tradition for us, and we compete. We compete with all the high school groups that are marching 9 through 12th graders. This year we've had quite some good success, knock on wood, already at the Carrollton Band Days. A couple weeks ago we placed first in our class in 4A, and we also, at the end of the night, we discovered that we had taken the high score of the entire festival, which was a first for us. This past weekend, we went to the Park Hill Marching Band Festival, and our drumline placed second indoor in an indoor show. Our color guard placed second in an indoor show, and our band won first in the parade. So we're pretty excited about that. We've got 2 more festivals coming up this year. We're going to Missouri Western State University Tournament of Champions next Tuesday, and we always do really well there. And then we end our season next Saturday at Trenton for the Missouri Day Marching Band Festival. So we just continue the tradition of excellence with our band program here at Grandview.
And the tradition continues on, as you heard from Mr. Watchering. And, Mr. Watchering, you just took a trip down to Texas. I heard there's a little bit of rain, but overall, I know the kids were excited when they came back to class. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we every 4 years we take a pretty, what we call major trip, a large trip. And in the middle of that, in between those 4 years, we take a smaller trip. Well, this was our smaller trip this year. We went to Dallas, Texas, and it just coincided with not having anything on this weekend like a home football game or a competition. It coincided with the State Fair at Texas opening day parade. So we got to march straight downtown Dallas, Texas, for about 40 to 50,000 people, they estimated, which is pretty exciting. And yes, we did hit rain, not on that day, but the next day we were going to perform at Six Flags over Texas, and they received about 5 inches of rain. So we didn't perform, but we played and rode roller coasters in the rain. We also did an awful lot of educational things. We visited the 6th floor museum at Dealey Plaza where John F. Kennedy was assassinated. That was quite an experience for all of our kids and adults as well. And we did a lot of fun things down there, and we just had a great time. Really appreciate the school board and the school district allowing us to go on that trip. All the money raised was fundraised by the students, so that was pretty exciting as well. And I want to tell you one other thing about our staff. We have just an incredible staff. It's just not me. We have a really strong team that works together. Mr. Stephen Samsell, Mr. Charles Jakes, Mr. Bill Dodd, and Mrs. Darcy Jones. Our team of 5 staff really put our heads together and do what we think is musically best for our kids and educationally right for our kids.
Well, I come in every morning, and I can hear you play, and it's amazing what you've done. What are some things maybe you have planned for the future? What do you have planned here in the next year, the next few months?
Yeah, well, for the marching band, we have really made a concerted effort this year to recruit more and to start the recruitment process early because it is a volunteer. I compare it to like a fall sport because we do not meet during the day at all. So we really do have to get out there and recruit a lot, and we're going to continue to that. We'd like to see the marching band in the next few years get up to around 120. Where we think that would be an ideal number for us. With our brand new uniforms, that really does help recruitment, I have to be honest with you. I appreciate the school district and the Board of Education approving new uniforms for us last year. That's awesome. After Trenton, our season pretty much winds down as far as marching band goes, and then it's time for jazz band season to kick up, and that goes through the winter and into early spring, and then we start the whole thing over again in the summer.
So new turf, new band uniforms, and one of the best band directors here in the Kansas City Metro, Mr. Danny Watchering. Thank you, sir, for joining.
Thank you, Heath, very much.
And we bring back in Coach Ferris. Coach Ferris, we talked about the district. We talked about, last week Kearney having a big win, unfortunately a loss over Staley, so they'll be really excited tonight. Grandview with a huge win against Belton. What do you expect tonight? What are the keys to victory for Grandview?
Well, I think there's 3 keys to victory. First, I want to say, though, this is your first year here at Grandview, and speaking of Danny Watchering's bands, you got a real treat in store for you when you hear that jazz band that'll come along later, too, because it's one of the best in the state also. As for tonight's game, the keys to win the game, we got to build on the Belton win. It was a really good, solid win in a lot of ways. That game could have got away from us at a lot of different times. There was 2 long runs against us. But we battled and stayed in there. We talked last week in the pregame show about the attitude of the Grandview Bulldogs of never giving up. Yep. And we're going to have to build on that attitude against a very, very tough opponent in Kearney tonight. Then the next thing is, just like last week, we've got to stop a very, very powerful running attack because they can come at you in so many ways. And then the third thing that will help us to attack Kearney's defense is we've got to diversify our offense. We need to run between the tackles, but we also need to run wide and add that passing attack, both the short passing attack and the long downfield throws also.
Okay, probably one of the keys to the game, too, we've seen is, Grandview tends to get down early. And like you said, they never give up, but they're kind of always trying to get back into the game. Last week they were able to do it against Belton. Hopefully this week they can get that early lead on Kearney. So, folks, a great game coming up. Kickoff right after this on the Slice TV Network. The temperature is in the mid-50s. The wind is still, and that can mean one thing here at Grandview High School. Grandview football is on the air here on Slice. Welcome, folks, for tonight's game between a set of Bulldogs. The Kearney Bulldogs coming in at 4-3 and the Grandview Bulldogs at 3-4. This should be a good one for you tonight here on senior night at Grandview High School. Okay, and let's go down on the field as our student reporter Chris Gunn is down on the field with some of the senior football players and their parents for a quick interview. Take it away, Chris.
My name is Chris Gunn. I am here at Grandview High School with 4 seniors, and it is senior night. I'm here with Ryan Lee, Pete, Britton, Nick Frank, and Ivan. Austin, sorry. What are you going to miss about high school football?
I'm really going to miss playing with my friends, the unity, just playing every Friday night under the lights.
That's good. What about you, Nick? What are you going to miss about high school football?
I'm going to miss playing football with all my friends and just the atmosphere and all this whole thing, just everything about Grandview.
Great. Pete, what's the best thing about being a senior?
Leading this team and having everybody look up to you, and that's about it.
That's good. Ivan, do you plan on continuing to play football after high school?
Yes, I do. I plan on playing college football.
Okay. What school?
I'm undecided. I've took a few visits, but I'm undecided.
Okay. Back, Nick, do you plan on continuing to play football after high school?
Yes, I plan on continuing to play football after high school. I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but I want to play football.
Okay. Thank you, seniors and parents. My name is Chris. Back to you, Coach Cooper.
Thank you, Chris. Ryan Lee, Nick Frank, Pete Britton, Ivan Lofton, 4 of our senior football players here at Grandview High School. Folks, welcome to our 5th airing of Grandview High School here on the Slice Network. I'm Heath Cooper, alongside our audio engineer, Marcos Thomas, and our executive producer, Sheldon Lee. And as mentioned earlier, we have a game tonight between a pair of Bulldogs, the Kearney Bulldogs and the host Grandview Bulldogs here tonight. Kearney comes in at 4-3, Grandview at 3-4. And speaking with Coach Leach this week, he mentioned that this Kearney team, despite their record, do not be deceived. They are 4-3, but this is a team that last year lost 17 starters, and they moved up to Class 5, So this should be a good one here at Bulldog Stadium here at Grandview High School. And the Bulldogs are on the field, and they are ready to go tonight in an important game for them, as they are currently 3-4 in the district, and they're ranked number 5 in the district. If they can find a way to get into those top 4 slots, they would, of course, host the home field for the first round of the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. But right now they stay at number 5, so this is an important one for Grandview tonight. After the big win last week against the Belton Pirates here on homecoming night, tonight's a pretty important one here on senior night. So the last time, possibly, that these seniors will play here at Grandview High School. Kearney, as Coach Leach mentioned this week, do not be fooled by their 4-3 record, as this football team might be one of the best in the metro area, if not the best. This is a team, as we had mentioned before, they've lost 17 starters off last year. They move up to Class 5, so they start slow. But they are now 4-3. 2 weeks ago, they beat a good Park Hill team, and last week they beat almost beat Class 5 powerhouse Staley, as they lose the game 35-30 against one of the teams who is one of the better teams, if not the best team here in the metro, in the Staley Falcons. So Coach Leach tonight mentioned that his Bulldogs will have to play one heck of a game just to compete with the Kearney team, who has been one of the powerhouses here, not only in the Kansas City Metro, but in the state of Missouri for several years now. Looking at Kearney, the first player that Coach Leach mentioned was their quarterback, senior Cole Davis, number 7, already over 1,000 yards passing. He does a great job reading defenses, and he puts the ball where only his man can catch it, as he only has 4 interceptions on the year. Kearney is a run-first team, but they are throwing the ball more this year. When their receivers are open, Davis does a good job of getting them the ball, but they also have a really good running back in number 32, Brock Broughton. Broughton, one of the better running backs in the Kansas City Metro, and one of the best running backs Coach Leach says the Bulldogs will see this season, as he's over 1,000 yards. And as a matter of fact, as Coach Ferris said early on in the pregame, Broughton has actually played a little quarterback this year. Davis goes down in the game against Lee Summit. Broughton comes in at quarterback. Coach for Kearney switches to a Wildcat offense, and they drop 41 points on Lee Summit. So Broughton, not only a talented running back and a runner from that position, but also can play some football as well from the quarterback spot. It is senior night here at Grandview High School. You see the 4 seniors for Grandview getting out for quite possibly their final night, their final time here on the brand new turf at Grandview High School. And walking across the field from left to right, you see Ryan Lee, the quarterback, a 4-year starter here at Grandview High. Nick Frank, number 15. And number 34 for the Bulldogs. Excuse me, I'm a little mixed up here early on. Number 34 for the Bulldogs, is Carl Evans, 185-pound senior as well. Also with the seniors out there is number 63, Weston Teal. So 4 seniors who have had a good career here at Grandview High School and are looking to finish it off here with a big bang against a very, very good Kearney Bulldog football team. Once again, thank you for joining us here on Slice, as this is our 5th broadcast of Grandview High School football. We're looking for a good one tonight. Again, we had mentioned this is very important for Grandview when it comes to district seeding, as currently they are number 5 in the district at 3-4. But they're looking to get in that top 4 spots so they can get that home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, this game is pretty important tonight, but also several games throughout not only the metro area, but in Missouri as well, will go a long way in determining how these teams match up come district time, which starts in 2 weeks. Back to Kearney. This is a good team, folks. Again, 4-3, a very good offensive team with a good quarterback and a very good running back, but they also play really good team defense. Coach Lee says it's one of the better defensive teams that he has seen all year. They're a very aggressive style of defense. They are a 3-3-5 stack defense, folks. If you don't know what that means, that's 3 down linemen with 3 linebackers basically stacked right on top. They did graduate 10 players off of last year's defense. Their only returning starter, though, is a good one. That's senior cornerback Torrey Kurtz, number 20. But the coaching staff at Kearney High School has done a good job of implementing some of these young players into the mix. And like we had mentioned earlier, they did get off to a slow start, but they now sit at 4-3, and it's a strong 4-3 as they've played a very tough schedule, as they usually do at Kearney High School. So Coach Leach, as we mentioned, says this Kearney Bulldog team is the best team that Grandview will see all year. So here we are once again from Grandview High School here in Grandview, Missouri. Brand new turf. Bulldogs coming off a big win last week at homecoming over the Belton Pirates, a last-second win. Bulldogs trailed the entire game, and they showed a lot of character to get the win in the last minute of the game. So here we are from Grandview High School. Kearney will kick it off first. And for the Kearney Bulldogs, that is number 37. And here comes the kick. That is one heck of a kick, and that's going to sail out of the end zone for a touchback. So Grandview will take over at its own 20. So we are going to re-kick, though. Did not see a flag on the play. But number 37, the senior Lance Peterson, will kick again. I'm not sure what happened on the play, but they are going to re-kick here. Back deep for the Bulldogs, Jarrell Alexander. And it looks like Ivan Lofton, number 81, 2 of the better returners in the Kansas City metro area. Teams have stayed away from them all season long. They are not kicking to the Bulldogs. They're kicking it on the ground or kicking it deep. And there's another strong kick. What a kick from number 37, the senior, for the Bulldogs, Lance Peterson. So Grandview once again will take over from their own 20-yard line here live on the Slice Network. Special thanks to our student reporter, Chris Gunn, who was on the field before the game to introduce some of the senior football players and get a quick interview. Chris Gunn with his first appearance here on the Slice Network. So Grandview will take over on their own 20. I formation, it's Alexander goes in motion, and there's a flag on the play, and that is a false start on the Bulldogs. So they will be backed up 10 yards. A 5-yard, excuse me. So now Grandview will take over from their own 15, 1st and 15. Grandview started out in an I formation. They sent Alexander in motion, something we haven't seen this year, but maybe a little wrinkle by Coach Leach and his coaching staff. Again, Alexander in motion, and there's another penalty on the play. So another false start by the Bulldogs will push them back 5 more yards. So now they will start from their own 10, 1st and 20. Very start of the game here on the Slice Network. 12 minutes here. We have not had a clock running yet as Kearney kicked the ball out of the end zone for a touchback. Handoff up the middle. That will pick up about 4 yards. As the runner for Grandview, not sure, I didn't get a number on that one, folks. I apologize to you. Brings up 2nd and 16. Grandview from its own 10 or 15. Lee back in the shotgun, 2 backs to his side. Handoff, Jarrell Alexander over to the left side. He's got some room. He's got some blocking up to the 20 and almost to the 20 to about the 19-yard line. So that play there pretty well blocked by that massive Grandview offensive line that we have talked about all year long. Josiah Quick, Appa Visenya, Akil Williams, among others. Freedom Akim Oladen is the tight end. They've got some big bodies up front that can make some holes, and they'll need to make some time here for Lee, who looks to be probably throwing here on 3rd and 13. Grandview from its own 17-yard line. So we are just underway here at Grandview High School. Lee back to throw. He is pressured, and he will have to throw it incomplete, as a host of Kearney Bulldogs were there on the play, led by number 41, Cameron Weaver. So Grandview will be forced to punt. Ryan Lee, as we saw last week against Belton, has not only played quarterback for Grandview, but he has also been the punter as well. And a pretty good one at that. Lee, snap is away, kicks on the ground. It will take a Grandview bounce, and I think it may have hit a Kearney Bulldog, as it is downed at the 46-yard line, so it did not hit Kearney. Kearney will take over at their own 46, 1st and 10. 11 minutes remaining here in the first quarter on Slice. Once again, welcome to our 5th broadcast here from Grandview High School on the Slice Network. Pete Cooper alongside Sheldon Neal and Marcos Thomas. Also some students involved in this broadcast, Anthony Peterson, Dion Peterson, and we saw Chris Gunn earlier. So we get our first look at Cole Davis, who hands off to Broughton. Broughton up the middle, and he is met and smacked hard there by the Bulldogs. Number 33 in on the play, and that's Devin Woods, the junior, the 182-pounder. So about 1 yard on the play. Grandview with a good stop right up the middle on one of the better running backs, as we had mentioned earlier, Brock Broughton, number 34. You can look at this quarterback from Kearney, number 7, Cole Davis, and he looks the part. A blitz. Davis is flushed out. He's at the 50. He's at the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he will go for a Kearney Bulldog touchdown. So Davis, on about a 54-yard scamper, scores for Kearney. He was flushed out of the pocket. There was pressure there from Grandview. It looked like almost the sack was made. Davis is able to escape, and then after that is off to the races for a 54-yard touchdown. Somewhat reminiscent of last week against Belton, as their quarterback had a few big runs in the first quarter as well. Extra point is up, and extra point is good. So with 10:18 remaining here from Grandview, it is Kearney 7, Grandview 0 here on Slice. So we see kind of something that Grandview's had all year, and it's the first quarter's really haunted them this season, as they tend to get down early. But as we talked about in the past, Coach Leach's teams never give up, and they showed that last week against Belton, getting down 14-0 early in the game. They claw all the way back into the game and finally take their first lead with about a minute left in the fourth and win the game in the last minute on homecoming night. But I'm sure Coach Leach would prefer that his Bulldogs get an early lead and then maybe see what they can do from there, as they seem to get down pretty consistently all year in the first quarter, and they're down once again here 7-0 early against Kearney. Kicking it away is Dylan Weir, number 97, the junior for Kearney. And once again, he gets off a booming kick, and it will go out of the end zone for yet another touchback. And so we've seen early on that this Kearney team has some serious talent. You saw the run from Davis, about 54 yards for the touchdown, but look at the kicking game. Look at the junior Dylan Weir, as he has now kicked 3 kickoffs out of the end zones for touchbacks. You just don't see that very often, folks, in high school football. So as Coach Leach had mentioned, this is the best team that Grandview will play all year, and they are showing it here early on. Lee under center. It's Javon Turner in the backfield. He will get the handoff up the middle. Nice hole. Turner will pick up about 7 yards. So a good push from the big guys up front, as Turner will pick up about 7, maybe 8 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 2. So good blocking early on by the Grandview offensive line, at least on run plays, as they found some success. You've got to think if they don't get those 2 early penalties, that they probably would have been in business here, but now they're in business with their second possession. Lee back to throw. Double move, looking for Lofton. And it is very well covered on the outside by number 20 for Kearney. The young man we had mentioned earlier in the pregame, Torrey Kurtz, the only returning starter for Kearney. He is a cornerback, and he is a good one. So that'll be an interesting matchup to watch this evening, as Ivan Lofton, who is one of the better wide receivers in the metro area, against Kurtz, who is also can hold his own from the cornerback spot as well. Lee under center. It's an I formation. They send Turner in motion. Handoff right up the middle. And stopped almost immediately is Carson for the Bulldogs. Folks, thanks once again for joining us for our 5th broadcast here on Slice. Chat with us in the comment box below. We'll mention some of our favorite comments during our broadcast. So check us out on the website, www.myslicetv.com. Drop us a comment. We'll be sure to give you a shout out here on the air live. Lee. He's going to run. It's a quarterback lead, and it is stuffed. And a name you will hear quite often for Kearney, number 42. Mark Harris, a senior, makes the stop, as he has been in the backfield a few times tonight. But that's the first time that Grandview has been pushed for a loss on a run play, so the offensive line for Grandview doing a good job up front so far. One wide out down to the bottom of your screen. That's Lofton. Lee with the back to both sides. Back in motion. We've got a flag on the play. It is on Grandview. Another false start. That's their 3rd one here in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Join us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We post exclusive comment, and we keep you up to date on future broadcasts and events. Go to mysplicetv.com and click like and follow us. So Grandview will try it again, 2nd and 19 from their own 22-yard line. It is Lee, again flanked by the 2 backs. And there's a blitz from the corner blitz, and number 29 for Kearney is there for the sack. That's Lake Setzer, the junior cornerback, who comes on the corner blitz to make the sack for Kearney. So Lee is sacked. That will bring up 3rd and long for Grandview, as they will take the ball from their own 10-yard line now. So whether it be penalties or sacks, so far Grandview has kind of shot itself in the foot on its first 2 drives. Lee under center, back in motion. He'll hand off around the end. That's Jarrell Alexander. He turns a corner, but there's a host of Kearney Bulldogs there, led by number 52, Brian Hobbs, the junior linebacker. So that'll bring up 4th and 31. And Coach Leach had mentioned that this is a really good defensive team. They are very aggressive. They run to the ball, and when they're there, they will make the play. They make the tackle. Very few times will you see a very well-coached Kearney team miss a tackle. Another punt by Lee. That'll go along the ground. Will not be fielded by Kearney, and it will be down at the Kearney 43-yard line. So, with 7:03 remaining here at Grandview High School, it's Kearney 7 and Grandview 0 on the Slice Network. So we see that aggressive Kearney defense, that 3-3-5 stack. Again, the 3 down linemen with 3 linebackers kind of stacked on top of them. A team that did graduate 10 players from its defense last year, but as you can see, they have not dropped off at all. There's a little pass out into the flat, and met immediately is the running back, where he is tackled for maybe a gain of a yard by number 28, Javon Turner. Coach Leach had mentioned as well this week that you will see more players playing both ways, and that time you see Turner, who's normally just a running back and kick returner, playing a little bit of defense. So it's a direct snap this time to Broughton, right up the middle at the 50, at the 45, at the 40, at the 35, and he is finally brought down at the 22-yard line, as it's Akeem Moladen who hustles on the play to make the stop, or otherwise Broughton would have been gonzo for a touchdown run off the direct snap. So again, Broughton, number 32, only a junior, already over 1,000 yards for the year, and we still have one more game remaining in the regular season. So they are definitely a two-headed monster, and we haven't even seen Kearney's wide receivers, which Coach Leach also said are excellent. Handoff, Broughton right up the middle. Good blocking. He will get down inside the 18-yard line. So he picks up around 5 yards, maybe 4, which will bring up a second and about 6 yards. So again, folks, don't be deceived by that Kearney 4-3 record. They have played an extremely tough schedule. Kearney is a community, as you may or may not know, that has grown pretty significantly over the past 10 to 15 years, and as they have grown, they have not ducked anyone as they consistently play one of the toughest schedules in the Kansas City Metro. And this year they finally reached Class 5. Direct snap to Broughton again, and he is immediately tackled on the play by Josiah Quick, among others, who has played fantastic this entire season for the Bulldogs on defense. He was one of the keys last week to the comeback against Belton. So again, you see that Kearney offense. They haven't really thrown yet. Coach Leach says they are throwing a little bit more this year, but you see the running attack and how good they are and how good their offensive line can play. Pass, complete. Wide receiver. So right as we talk about those wide receivers for Kearney, they throw to Drew Gopstrich, Drew, who's a senior for Kearney. So even though they did graduate some players last year, Kearney still, the football power that they are, is able to just reload with upperclassmen. So that brings up a Kearney first down at the Grandview 9, as they are driving up 7-0 here with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Handoff, Broughton over the right side, tackles missed, and he will walk into the end zone, giving Kearney a 13-0 lead. So you see how powerful this Kearney team can be. They can do it on the ground, they can do it through the air, and they lead at 13-0 here at Grandview High School. So, Weir again, who's shown off his leg on kickoffs, will handle the extra point duties. The snap is off. The kick is up. The kick is good. So Kearney, 2 quick scores here in the first quarter. Leads it 14-0 with 4:20 remaining here on Slice. So once again, we are at Grandview High School here in Grandview, Missouri. Score is 14-0. Kearney Bulldogs leading the battle of the Bulldogs here. 4:20 remaining in the first. Hey folks, Minxie's Pizza on State Line is partnered with Harvesters. Right now, if you bring in a canned good, you receive $2 off any large pizza. Visit Minsky's on State Line for their delicious gourmet pizza and add wings to your order. So it is Weir. He will kick off for the third time this game, and he hasn't had a single kick yet that has been able to be returned, as he has shown a monster leg thus far. And he's only, folks, a junior, so he will be back next year for Kearney as well. This one looks like it may be returned, as it is. It's Jarrell Alexander at the 5, at the 10, at the 15, and up to about the 16-yard line, as the kick coverage is there for Kearney, and Grandview will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 16. So 4:15 remaining here in the first. Kearney with a run by their quarterback, Cole Davis, about 54 yards for a touchdown, and then about a 6-yard run by running back Brock Broughton gives them the lead here early in the first. Lee in the shotgun will throw out to the flat. The pass is complete to Lofton, and he is up to the 16-yard line. So a good pickup on first down. As you see, the arm strength from Ryan Lee, who had a fantastic game last week against the Belton Pirates. And that will bring up a Grandview second down, about 2 to go. So a nice throw out to the flat from Lee to Lofton. Lee now will go under center. So they hand it off to Jarrell Alexander. He cuts it up. Good cut by Alexander, and I think he does have the Grandview first down. So good cut upfield. Jarrell Alexander, who normally will take that to the outside. This time he cuts it up very smartly to get the Bulldog first down. That will make it 1st and 10 from the Grandview 30-yard line. Lee this time will go under center. He's got Jarrell Alexander with trips at the top. Alexander right up the middle. Not a bad pickup, about 3 yards. As that monstrous Grandview offensive line is doing a good job of blocking on the run so far tonight. Trips down to the bottom of your screen as they isolate Lofton up to the top. Lee once again under center with Jarrell Alexander in the backfield. Nice cut by Alexander. He will pick up a good another 3-4 yards. So Grandview's offensive line has given up a sack to Lee early, but other than that has been really solid so far. Pickup of 4. That'll bring up 3rd and 3, Grandview, from their own 37-yard line. So Jarrell Alexander so far having a pretty good game, and that Grandview offensive line paving the way for him. Hand off to the fullback, right up the middle. He's still on his feet before he is met for what looks to be no gain on the play, as he is met by number 39, Max Philbeck, the junior for Kearney. 2 minutes and counting here in the first quarter, 14-0 Kearney with the early lead on 2 big runs by their running back Cole Davis and, the quarterback Cole Davis and running back Brock Broughton to give them the early lead. And yet another false start on the Bulldogs. That is their 4th of the game. That time it is Josiah Quick, whose name we have mentioned so many times for doing some fantastic things both on offense and defense. Unfortunately, that time he jumps off sides, or false start, which will make the Bulldogs in 4th and 7. Ryan Lee. Oh, and the punt is blocked. It is blocked by Kearney, and they will recover it at the 10-yard line of Grandview. So Kearney does it on the offensive side. They do it with defense, and now they do it on special teams, as it was number 42 for the Bulldogs, the senior Mark Harris, who gets the block, setting up excellent field position for Kearney on the Grandview 10-yard line. So right when Grandview looked to have a promising drive going, they get a false start, their fourth one of the game, which puts them in a very tough fourth down when they have to punt it, and the punt is blocked by Kearney, and now they have the ball at the Grandview 10. It is a handoff to Broughton over the right side. There's good blocking. Nice spin move. But he is met after a gain of about 2 yards. So that will bring up a 2nd and goal from the Grandview 8 here with 1:20 left in the first quarter from Grandview High School. We may have had a timeout on the play, maybe an equipment timeout here. Official timeout, and we are, as a Bulldog seems to be having some issues with his helmet. The senior, Simeon Brooks. So we are back to the game. Davis with Broughton behind him. It is a handoff to Broughton, and he is met immediately by the Bulldogs. That is number 63 for the Bulldogs. Weston Teal, who was one of the senior representatives before game, to go out for the flip here on senior night at Grandview High School. Makes a good stop of Brock Broughton. So that brings up a 3rd and 7. So a gain of a yard by Kearney. Davis is back in that pistol formation with Broughton. Handoff to Broughton, and it's a play action. They will throw, and overthrowing the wide receiver is Davis. It looked as if he was open, but just thrown a little too far was the pass from Davis, and it falls incomplete, which will bring up 4th down. So what will Kearney do on 4th down? And they will kick it. And of course, they have one of the better kickers around in Dylan Weir, the junior kicker, number 97, who has completed on all of his extra point attempts, and he has kicked some booming kickoffs out of the end zone here in the first quarter. So Dylan Weir's kick's up, and Dylan Weir's kick is good. So from Grandview High School, it is now Kearney 17, Grandview 0. Here on Slice. If you like a DVD of this game, it supports the Slice Network and Grandview High School partnership and allows Slice Network to continue to promote youth activities throughout the Kansas City area. Visit myslicetv.com after the broadcast to support by purchasing a DVD. Hey folks, Slice Network teamed up with Grandview High School earlier this week to film a video promoting students in participation of the voting. During our next commercial, you'll see how some of the students at GHS feel about the participating election, so stay tuned.
I blinked really hard last time.
Very good. No, you're good. You're good.
Good. Sure. Are we?
So, just a little preview of what is coming up. You'll see a little bit more from our executive producer, Sheldon Neal, who was at Grandview High School, taping some of our seniors. The kickoff from Weir is another one. That's deep. And it will be dropped by Lofton for an automatic touchdown. Rules in the high school here in the state of Missouri are a little bit different than college or the NFL. A dropped kickoff or any kick in which the ball touches the end zone is an automatic touchback, and that will be the case here, as it is Kearney 17, Grandview 0 here with about 30 seconds left in the first quarter. So Kearney doing it on offense, doing it on defense, and also blocking a punt for good field position, which has led to all 3 of their scores. Lee throws out to the flat. It is complete. So a nice gain of about 7 yards on the play. The pass from Lee was completed to Desmond Tyson, who was one of the stars last week against Belton, as he had 3 monster catches, which helped the Bulldogs on their final drive, their final scoring drive, which allowed them to beat the Pirates last week on homecoming night. So we come to a close here in the first quarter. It is Kearney 17 and Grandview 0 here on the Slice Network.
party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
So, folks, we are back at Grandview High School. Kearney, 17, Grandview 0. In a pretty dominating performance in the first quarter by Kearney as they lead it early on some rushing efforts from Cole Davis, their quarterback, and their very good running back, Brock Broughton, along with some good special teams as well. Handoff up the middle. Lee, it will be close to a first down. Let's see if Grandview got it. He is brought down on the play by Kearney by number 42, Mark Harris, the senior, who we had mentioned earlier, along with the cornerback, Torrey Kurtz, number 20, is one of the better players on Kearney's defense. But, folks, they feature 11 pretty good players as they play that 3-3-5 stack. They are extremely aggressive running to the ball, and when they're there, they make a play. You will rarely see this Kearney defense miss tackles. Lee is back to throw. He's flushed out, and he is sacked by the young man we just spoke of for Kearney, number 42, the senior, Mark Harris, in on the play, and Harris has made some key plays tonight, as that, I believe, is his third tackle for a loss this evening. And again, you see the aggressiveness of Kearney's defense. They are excellent against the run, and they are excellent at rushing the passer, and they have done both very well this evening. Lee is back to throw. It's a handoff to Jarrell Alexander up the middle. There's a big hole. Alexander up to the 35, up to the 40, up to the 45, 50-yard line, and he's finally pushed out at the 48-yard line on a beautiful run by Jarrell Alexander, and that play was well blocked by the big guys up front, as it's Alexander who rushes for about 30 yards all the way down to the Kearney 46. So a little life from Grandview here. Down 17. You see the character of this Grandview team. Coach Andy Leach, these guys will not give up. They've been in some tough situations this year early on. This is a team that will not give up. Lee throws out the outside. The pass is complete to Tolliver for a big gain of about 13 yards. Up to the Kearney 32. So again, it's Desmond Tolliver, the young man we had spoke about last week against Belton, who gets a nice gain and another Grandview first down. So Grandview in business here. 2 quick first downs on the legs of Jarrell Alexander and the arm of Ryan Lee. So Lee under center. Another handoff right at the middle for a great gain once again for Grandview. That looks like it could be a first down as well. It will be close if it's not, and it is very close. So it'll bring up second down and less than a yard here. 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Grandview is in business. So again, that big offensive line of Grandview creating some holes. Alexander up the middle, and he'll pick up a first down. And really, folks, so far tonight, when Grandview is not shooting itself in the foot with penalties, they have actually had pretty good offensive drives. But 4 false starts so far here in the first 14 minutes of this game have hurt the Bulldogs as they line up in an I formation. It is Javon Turner. He will go in motion. Hand out to the fullback up the middle. That's number 24 for the Bulldogs. Terry Thompson, the junior, 181-pound fullback. Seeing some time at fullback. We haven't seen Terry that much at fullback so far this year, but he gets a decent gain of about 2 yards. 2nd and 8, Grandview. They are moving. A score here would give them some much-needed momentum. Lee looks like he is changing the play. Turner right behind him. Maybe a handoff to Turner here. No, they're going to throw it into the flat. That is complete to Tolliver. As he is up to, it looked like he might have fumbled the ball, folks, but he did not. They're going to rule him down on the play. Sorry, that's Desmond Tyson, not Tolliver. Desmond Tyson, the hero of last week's game against Belton on homecoming night. There were several heroes in that game. It was Josiah Quick, Freedom Akeem Moladen with a huge sack at the end of the game. Ryan Lee had probably his best game as a senior here at Grandview High School in that win, but Desmond Tyson with 3 big catches on the final drive to help Grandview secure the victory. Lee will throw. Looking for Freedom Akeem Moladen in the corner, and that is overthrown. Very, very well covered by Kearney, so that would have had to have been a perfect throw by Lee on that play. 8:53 remaining. 17-0 Kearney, but Grandview driving. Stay tuned at halftime for our Dick Smith Ford halftime show, presenting the Grandview Bulldog Brigade. Plus, we talk to more seniors as we continue to recognize senior night here at Grandview High School. So Grandview, 4th down and 7, and Coach Leach senses urgency here, and they will go for it. Probably a good move by the Grandview coaching staff. No backs. Lee will throw. He will throw for the end zone, and it looked like they had Akeem Moladen open on the play, but unfortunately he is overthrown, and Kearney will now take over. It looked like Akeem Moladen was wide open over the middle, but the pass was just not there. And Kearney will take over on downs. But a good drive by the Bulldogs. Maybe takes a little bit of momentum away from Kearney, but it would be key to get a defensive stop here. Would go a long way. 17-0 Kearney here at Grandview High School on the Slice Network. Davis and Broughton. Once again, the two-headed monster for Kearney are in the backfield. They will go option left. Davis will cut it up. He's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play. So Davis showing his legs there on that play as he had Broughton running the option alongside him. You know, we haven't seen Davis put the ball in the air quite yet tonight, but he does have, coming into this game, over 1,100 yards passing and only 4. That's right, folks, 4 interceptions for the year. So this Kearney team can beat you in a myriad of ways. Davis will throw this time. The pass is complete. Up to the 35, up to the 40. So Davis completes the pass out to his wide receiver, number 3, Drew Gopstrich, the senior. And that will be a Kearney first down. So Kearney, ball on their own 41. Be pretty key for Grandview to keep them from scoring here, as Grandview had a nice drive. About 50 yards. They drive all the way down deep into Kearney territory, but were unable to come away with any points. There is a timeout on the play, so Kearney will call a timeout. Here on the Slice Network, it is Kearney 17. Grandview 0 here in the second quarter. So we are back here at Grandview High School. 17, Kearney. Grandview 0. Kearney driving. They are at their own 41-yard line. Davis will take it. He'll fake the pitch back to Broughton, and he's going to throw deep. Over the middle, and that ball is caught, and that ball will be taken down to the 12-yard line as a beautiful pass goes to another senior, Dylan Britt. So we had mentioned Kearney, who loses several starters off last year's team, but they are an excellent football program, and they just reload, and another one of those upperclassmen that they just fill in there is the senior Dylan Britt, number 10, who catches a long pass over the middle for another Kearney first down to the Grandview 12. Handoff, Broughton, right side. He is met by the Bulldogs. First one there for the Bulldogs. Javon Turner, who is now playing both ways. Special guest in the booth this evening, as he does every week, is our superintendent of Grandview C4 Schools, Dr. Ralph Turan, is joining us. So Davis will take the snap. He'll fake it. He's going to cut it up. Good move by Davis. He fakes the pass, but he's going to be brought down on a good tackle, a good open field tackle there by the senior Pete Britton, young man who was interviewed earlier by Chris Gunn. So that will bring up a Kearney 3rd and 6, 6 minutes, clock running until halftime. 3rd down and 6. Davis, again, pistol formation. Broughton, he will throw. Blitz coming by the Bulldogs. Wide open in the flat for a touchdown is number 32 for Kearney, and that is Brock Broughton. So the fake to Broughton, and they throw it to him in the flat for a touchdown, gives Kearney a 22-0 lead. They will fake it, and they will throw for the 2-point conversion in the corner. Making the catch is a sophomore Connor Allen. So the 2-point conversion is good. That makes it 25-0 Kearney here with 5:52 remaining on Slice. Okay, stay tuned during this week. Slice Network teamed up with Grandview High School to film a video promoting students participating in voting during our next commercial. See how some of the students at GHS feel about participating in elections. So stay tuned.
Good. Sure.
So there is actually a flag on the play, folks. So the points probably will come off the board here. So the 2-point conversion is no good. And I believe they will get another opportunity at this. Kearney will, as they lead at 23-0. But as the officiating crew works this out, we will find out shortly. Once again, halftime. Dick Smith Ford halftime show. It'll feature the Bulldog Blue and Gold Brigade. Plus, we talk to more seniors as we continue to recognize senior night here at Grandview High School. So Kearney will retry the extra point. I would think this time they would kick it. So Weir is out to kick again, and this will be a pretty long extra point. But he has shown the legs so far to enable him to make this kick. Kick is up. Kick is good. So Kearney doesn't get the 2-point conversion. They get a flag on the play, but they do make the extra point from deep. 24, Kearney, Grandview 0 here on Slice.
Am I going to vote? I definitely plan on voting. Voting is the best way for me to get my voice heard.
I feel it's important to vote because not a lot of countries have that privilege. Some countries don't allow women to vote or have a say at all.
Some people want to decide their future, but live in countries where they can't. However, in the democracy we live in right now, we can decide our future.
It's a chance to get my opinion out there, and if I want something to be done, at least I had a say-so in it.
If you don't vote, you're wasting this freedom, you're wasting the opportunity you have, and it's not everyone gets it.
You're watching Slice Network, and I'm a youth voter.
So we are back to action here at Grandview High School as we are kicking it off. This time it will be able to be returned as it's Alexander up the middle. And Alexander tonight is having another good night. He had a great game last week against Belton, and he has a great return here that'll give Grandview the ball 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. Looking at some stats so far, we talked about Kearney's ability to rush the ball. They've already got 108 yards on the ground. They've got 29 yards through the air, so only 137 yards, but they sit here with a 24-point lead just before halftime. Pass out to the flat is complete to Lofton, so he will pick up about 8 yards before he is brought down by number 20 of Kearney, Torrey Kurtz, who we had mentioned earlier as one of the better cornerbacks and the only returning starter from Kearney from last year's team. So Lee again showing the arm streak out to Ivan Lofton. 2nd and short. Handoff. Javon Turner. He's got good hole. He is going to be close to the first down if he did not get it. So a good run by Turner, and again, good blocking by the Grandview offensive line. So that is a first down for Grandview. So 5 minutes remaining until the second half. That would be 2. The second half. As we have a false start on the play. I'd like to give a shout out to one of our English teachers here at Grandview High School, Diane Houston, who is watching the broadcast tonight. Thank you, Miss Houston, for checking us out here on Slice. So 1st and 15 as Grandview gets yet another penalty here in the first half. They find themselves down 24-0 here in the second quarter. 4.5 minutes remaining until halftime. It is Turner in motion. Lee will be back to throw. He'll throw over the middle, wide open, and it is caught by the tight end, Freedom Akinma-Lawton, for a Grandview first down. So that brings up a first down for Grandview. They are into Kearney territory. Now, they had this earlier as they drove all the way down deep into Kearney territory and eventually were stopped on downs. And, folks, we may have a penalty on this play as the officiating crew is looking it over. So this big gain might come back. So that's a pass interference on Grandview. So on the offensive team, so the big play is wiped away. And on top of that, Grandview might have some yards taken off as well. So penalties have been huge in the first half. It's difficult enough that this Kearney team is one of the better teams in the Metro. But when you're getting penalties as often as Grandview is, you're just shooting yourself in the foot and digging that hole even deeper. 4:25 and counting here in the second quarter. Grandview will take over. It's now first and really long. First and about 30 from their own 21. Handoff up the middle. Up to the 29. Grandview 29. 28 is Javon Turner. So he picks up a few yards, but that will bring up a long third down, as it looks to be third and 25. Third and 22. So Lee back in the shotgun. Flanked by Turner. He'll throw over the middle. Pass is complete to Akeem Moladen, but that will be well short of the first down. So that will bring up fourth down as that Kearney defense again showing its teeth. Holds Grandview. So Grandview, you would think, would punt the ball here with 3:18 and counting in the second quarter. Lee will be back to punt again, as Lee, again, quarterback, four-year starter here at Grandview High School, and now is also the punter. And he gets a decent kickoff. That it will be down at the 36-yard line. The 36-yard line, where it is finally down by the Bulldogs. Number 77 for the Bulldogs, Zane Snipes, the 220-pound senior. And Kearney will take over there. Let's reset this for you. Kearney 24-0 here at Grandview High School. In the first quarter, it was a long run by both the quarterback Cole Davis of Kearney and the running back Brock Broughton, who brought the Bulldogs up 14-0. And from there, they have pretty much coasted to this lead as it's Broughton up the middle for about 6 yards before he is finally brought down by the Bulldogs. So clock is moving here, 10:40 and counting. Be pretty important for Grandview to go into the locker room here, not giving up any more scores to Kearney before halftime. Direct snap, Broughton. He is brought down, so a good tackle by Broughton there on the play, and that was Akeem Moladen, the tight end who just made that catch that was called back. As you can see, many of these Bulldog players are playing both ways now. Coach Leach said they're getting away from the true platoon system in which you have the players playing only on one side of the ball. As tonight, you'll probably see some Bulldogs on offense, on defense, and quite frankly on special teams as well. Davis will throw. Davis out in the flat. The pass is caught for a first down, as Davis once again shows off the arm strength as he completes it again to the senior Drew Gopsterich. So Gopsterich with 3 catches here already in the first half. So you see why Davis has thrown for over 1,100 yards coming into the game. He has a strong arm and he's extremely accurate. And that's tough to beat when you've got a quarterback who's a dual threat guy, good wide receivers, and a good running back. Here's Davis back to throw on the fade route. They're looking. And the pass drops incomplete. It was intended for Gopcherich again. So that will bring up a 2nd and 10 for Kearney. 1:45 remaining here until the second half. So Davis has kind of been the shepherd of his herd tonight, leading this Kearney Bulldog team, and he completes another pass out to the Grandview 32, and that is number 23 for Kearney, Brennan Wegner, another senior. So again, Kearney, such a strong football program, such great tradition in all sports, frankly, in that town up north. They just reload. And when they reload, they don't reload with underclassmen. They reload usually with juniors and seniors. So it is Davis. Broughton to his side. Fake the handout to Broughton. He will throw. He will throw deep. He's got a player, and it is incomplete as he goes to Wagner once again. And this time it's incomplete, which will bring up 2nd and 10. So, minute 22, 2 remaining. 24-0. Kearney leads the battle of the Bulldogs here at Grandview High. Handoff, Broughton, left side, up to the 35, up to the 30. And he squirts down to about the 23-yard line. I'm sorry, that would be the 28-yard line of Grandview. Picks up about 4, bringing up a 3rd down. And probably about 6 yards, maybe 5, and there's a timeout on the field. So from Grandview High School in the Battle of the Bulldogs, it's Grandview 0, Kearney 24 here on Slice. So we are back at Grandview High School. Once again, folks, stay tuned during halftime for our Dick Smith Ford halftime show. You will see the Blue and Gold Brigade, the Grandview Marching Band, at halftime. As we continue to recognize our seniors here on senior night at Grandview High School, a few of them earlier being interviewed by our own Chris Gunn, and there are more interviews to come here at halftime. Pass interference against Grandview, so that will bring up a 1st down for Kearney. So just what Coach Leach and his bunch did not need is a long drive and some more points on the board for Kearney going into the second half here. About a minute remaining before halftime. Once again, Kearney 24, Grandview 0, and Kearney driving again here late in the second half or first half. Pass over the middle is caught and dropped by number 10 for Kearney, and that's Johnny Widmeyer. Only a sophomore, one of the few sophomores who's actually getting significant varsity time for Kearney, as they are a very upper-class laden bunch. So it is Davis, again, Broughton behind him, pistol formation. They'll go option right. Davis looking up the line. He's going to keep it, and he is going to score, but there's a flag on the play, so hang on, folks. Hang on, folks. And that is against Kearney, so that'll be a holding penalty against Kearney. So that will bring the touchdown back. So that's a little bit of momentum for Grandview. If they can just keep Kearney out of the end zone here, possibly hold them to just a field goal. As we've seen the leg of Weir, he's pretty much automatic. That would be some good momentum heading into the second half here at Grandview High School. Again, folks, stay with us at halftime. We have some neat senior night activities, some interviews from our own Chris Gunn of some of the seniors. Also tonight we got Anthony Peterson, Marcos Thomas, who's our audio engineer here in the booth, along with Dion Peterson, and we mentioned Chris Gunn. A lot of students here from Grandview High School that help us out on Slice. Good group of guys led by our executive producer Sheldon Neal, bringing you Grandview High School football every week. Across the middle, the pass is caught. That will not be enough for a first down, but the pass is caught by number 23 for Kearney. That's Brennan Wegner. So that'll bring up a third down. The clock is running with about 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the 12, Davis fakes. He's looking to throw. He's going to throw to the back of the end zone and wide open for the touchdown for the Kearney Bulldogs is number 10, Dylan Britt, the senior. So it's the senior, Dylan Britt, with a touchdown in the back of the end zone. We're looking to notch on the extra point here. Kearney up 30-0 here. Just before half, we do have a flag on the play, and that, again, is against the Bulldogs. So probably the 7th penalty against Grandview thus far today. As Kearney leads at 30-0 here on senior night at Grandview High School. And Weir will be back to kick again. We've seen the strong leg from him all night long, whether it be extra points, field goals, or kickoffs. This young man is only a junior. Very strong leg. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. Kearney 31, Grandview 0 here on Slice. So, 31 for Kearney. Grandview is yet to score. We have 28.9 seconds left before half. Once again, Weir, whose leg may be weary from kicking so much tonight, will kick off. And most of his kicks have been in the end zone. Jarrell Turner did get a shot to return one of them, which he did return for about a 35-yard gain. They'll kick on the ground this time. And it will be Alexander up the middle. Larry Smith on the return for the Bulldogs, getting a little bit of action. So Grandview will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So 31-0, 27.3 seconds remaining here until halftime. Once again, folks, stick with us as we have some neat senior activities here at halftime, some interviews on our Dick Smith Ford halftime show. Lee back to throw. He's looking for Lofton. Good throw, but just a tad overthrown as Lofton was unable to run underneath it. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 22 seconds remaining before half. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Leach just takes a knee here or if he looks maybe to surprise Kearney. They will not. They will throw it to the flat. That pass is complete to number 31, Tyson. And he looks like he gained enough yardage to pick up the first down. So the clock will stop with 15.3 seconds remaining. And it definitely is a first down. So Grandview has it on their 35, 15 seconds, and second timeout called by Grandview. So Grandview not giving up. We talked about the character of Coach Leach and his squad, the never give up attitude, and they are definitely not going to give up here with just 13.8 seconds remaining. Down 31, and they're looking to maybe get some points and some momentum as they go into halftime. Once again, I'm Heath Cooper here alongside Marcos Thomas, our audio engineer, and Sheldon Neal, our executive producer, here on senior night at Grandview High School. Folks, stay with us at halftime. We have the Bulldog Brigade, the Dick Smith Ford halftime show, and we're also going to talk to more seniors as we continue to recognize a very special senior class here at Grandview High School. So Ryan Lee will be under center I formation. Lofton down to the bottom of your screen. They're looking to throw to him. He'll unload. Put some air under it. Lofton, he just barely missed catching that, which would have been for a touchdown. He had his man beat by at least 10 yards. As you see the speed of Lofton, but unfortunately he's unable to run under that ball, and that will bring up second and 10 for Grandview from their own 35. So what will Coach Leach here do here with 8.6 seconds until half? His squad down 31-0. What will they do? Will they throw deep to Lofton one more time and maybe use their athleticism to surprise? No, they will give to Alexander around the end. A patient running back is up to the 35, up to the 36, and out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So about 6 yards. We'll bring up a third down and about 4 yards, 3.2 seconds remaining until halftime here from Grandview High School on senior night. So Lee under center. Lofton down at the bottom of your screen. Watch out for him, folks. Kearney backing off there, playing safe against the arm of Lee and the legs of Lofton. That pass was almost intercepted. And with 0.1 seconds remaining, Grandview is going to have to punt this ball. So 0.1 seconds. Kearney is going to force Grandview to punt, although Grandview may just run it out here. Looks like they will. So Lee goes under center, and he will look to throw. Blitz is on. He unloads. There's the arm. And it is knocked down. Very well defended by Kearney as they played it safe. Torrey Kurtz, the young man we had spoken of earlier. Folks, halftime here at Grandview High School on senior night. It's Kearney 31, Grandview 0 here on Slice.
good. That was a winner.
Welcome back, folks, here on the Slice Network. Let's go down to our student reporter, Chris Gunn, who's on the field with one of our senior cheerleaders who is cheering in her last game here at Grandview High School. Chris, take it away.
My name is Chris Gunn, and I am back here with two seniors from the cheerleading. Chloe, how do you feel about cheerleading?
I like cheering. It's very fun. I like supporting the team.
That's good. Alexis, do you plan on cheering after high school?
Actually, no. I'm going to join the dance team after high school, but it's the same thing. So.
That's good. How do you feel about being the cheer captain?
I feel great. I feel like I have power and control. I feel like everybody's my little sisters, and I can just take care of them.
That sounds cool. What do you feel? How do you feel about being on the cheerleading team?
Well, I kind of feel like all eyes is on me because, like, everybody loves cheerleaders. So, I feel like everybody loves me.
That sounds cool. I am here with Chloe and Alexis. My name is Chris. Back to you, Coach Cooper.
Thank you, Chris. Our very own Chris Gunn, our on-field student reporter for tonight's game here on senior night at Grandview High School. Welcome back. It is Kearney 31, Grandview 0. Let's look at some of our scoring here in the first half. To open up the scoring, it was Cole Davis, the quarterback for the Kearney Bulldogs, on a 53-yard touchdown run. And after the extra point attempt by Dylan Weir, it made it 7-0 Kearney. After that, at the 4:20 mark of the first quarter, it was a 9-yard run by the running back Brock Broughton for a touchdown. An extra point attempt by Dylan Weir made it 14-0. With, again, in the first quarter, towards the end of the quarter, Kearney tacks on a field goal to make it 17-0 by Dylan Weir. It was a 24-yard field goal attempt. Second quarter scoring, again, it was Davis passing it this time, 8 yards for a touchdown to Broughton. So both Davis and Broughton, as we had mentioned in pregame, playing a large role for Kearney in this one. That touchdown made it 24-0. And then finally, to end the scoring in the second quarter, it was again Davis, this time to the senior, Dylan Britt, for a 7-yard touchdown. And with the extra point, that brought us to our current score, which is 31-0 at half here at Grandview High School on senior night. Some of the stats from the first half, our passing leader was number 7, Cole Davis, for the Kearney Bulldogs. He passes for 134 yards. Our rushing leader was Grandview's Jarrell Alexander, who has 73 yards rushing at half. Jarrell, again, having a good game to follow up an excellent game last week against Belton. The receiving leader for both teams is the senior for Kearney, number 10. That's Dylan Brett. He has 54 yards receiving on the game. Overall stats tonight, yardage favors Kearney, as they have 134 yards total offense to Grandview's. I'm sorry, that's 134 yards passing, 122 yards of rushing for Kearney, bringing a total of 259 total yards for the Kearney Bulldogs. Rushing-wise, Kearney 14 attempts for 122 yards. They're averaging a whopping 8.7 yards per carry. Grandview on the other side of the ball with 20 rushing attempts for 74 yards, many of those coming from Jarrell Alexander, only averaging 3.7, but you get the feeling that their line has played a lot better than that tonight. On the receiving side, like we had mentioned, Cole Davis has thrown for 134 yards, averaging 14.9 yards per pass. Ryan Lee throwing for 58 first half yards, averaging 8.3 through the air per completion. So, at halftime, we stand Kearney 31, Grandview 0. We're about 30 seconds away from kicking it off here on senior night at Grandview High School here on Slice. Thank you so much for joining us here. Our fifth broadcast of Grandview High School football. I am Heath Cooper, alongside our audio engineer, Marcos Thomas, and our executive producer, Sheldon Neal. Alongside our students who are also involved tonight, Anthony Peterson, Dion Peterson, and you've seen a couple times our student reporter, Chris Gunn, on the field doing some of the sideline reports, some of the sideline interviews with some of the seniors this evening. So, it is Kearney 31, Grandview 0. Kearney will receive as they kicked off to start the game. Our last home game, unless something drastic happens here with Grandview, it'll be our last home game here on the beautiful new turf. District here at Grandview making some significant facility upgrades. They did not squeak by at all on these upgrades here at the high school, as you see the beautiful new turf and possibly some things in the future. There's been some talk of maybe some more facility upgrades, but I don't think that has been set in stone as of yet. Also some upgrades to the baseball facilities and a brand new softball facility. So once again, the district here putting forth some serious dollars to upgrade the athletic facilities here at the high school and throughout the district. So we're getting ready here for the second half here at Grandview on senior night here on Slice, and the kick is away. Kearney will return it at the 10, up to the 15, up to the 20, up to the 25, up to the 30. He's got a hole up to the 35, one man to beat, up to the 50. And finally, he is brought down at the Grandview 41 by number 31 for the Bulldogs, and that is Desmond Tyson, the offensive hero of last week's game. He's also had a pretty good game tonight. We had talked earlier, Coach Leach had mentioned many of the Grandview players will start to play more than just offense. They'll play some defense and special teams there, as you see Desmond Tyson, who's been so strong for the Bulldogs this year, receiving on the special teams tackle, as Kearney once again shows another phase of the game that they're so good at in special teams. So once again, Davis will bring his troops out. Hand off to Broughton right up the middle. He's got a big hole. He's up to the 30, almost up to the 35, so he does pick up about 5 yards before he is wrestled down on the play by number 19 for the Bulldogs, and that is the senior, Pete Britton. So a host of Bulldogs tonight playing their last game here at the stadium. We'll be mentioning a few: Pete Britton, Simeon Brooks, Carl Evans, Nick Frank, Corey Fox, Uriah Guy, Chance Jones, Ryan Lee, among some of those seniors playing their last game here on the turf at Grandview High School. Davis back to throw. He will throw out to the flat. It is complete. Up to the 30, up to the 25. So it is Davis completing the pass to number 22, the sophomore Zach Davis, the running back who squirts out of the backfield and picks up a first down for the Kearney Bulldogs. Another senior, number 81, Ivan Lofton. Roger Lucher, number 82. Josiah Quick, who we've mentioned so many times this year for the Bulldogs on both defense and offense. More of the seniors playing their last game here tonight at Grandview High School. 31-0 Kearney. 10:57 remaining here in the third quarter. Davis, handoff, Broughton, left side. He makes a nice move, a nifty move up to the 10, and he's finally brought down to the 9. So about an 11-yard gain as that Kearney line continues to pound away on that Grandview defensive front. So that will bring up a 1st and goal. So Kearney strikes quickly on a big return and now are down inside the Grandview 10 right at the get-go here in the third quarter. So it's Davis looking out. He will throw over the middle, wide open for a touchdown. Again, another touchdown. Davis throwing his 3rd touchdown of the evening to number 22, Zach Davis, the sophomore. Once again, folks, stick with us tonight. Grab some popcorn. Stay with us tonight as our reporter, Chris Gunn, will be back on the field with more seniors to do some senior night interviews. So stay with us this evening. A lot of game left here at Grandview High School. 10 minutes remaining. 37-0 Kearney. So it is Weir again, strong leg kicker for Kearney for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Weir makes the extra point. It is now Kearney 38, Grandview 0 here at Grandview High School on senior night here on the Slice Network. We'd like to send a special thank you, as we have all year, to the Days House of Compassion. Days is a Grandview nonprofit treatment facility that works to assist young men in becoming successful in reaching their goals. Thank you, Days, for your continued support. They have been there for us all season long. Thank you, Days, from Slice Network.
Am I going to vote? I definitely plan on voting. Voting is the best way for me to get my voice heard.
I feel it's important to vote because not a lot of countries have that privilege. Some countries don't allow women to vote or have a say at all.
Some people want to decide their future, but live in countries where they can't. However, in the democracy we live in right now, we can decide our future.
It's a chance to get my opinion out there, and if I want something to be done, at least I had a say-so in it.
If you don't vote, you're wasting this freedom, you're wasting the opportunity you have, and it's not everyone gets it.
You're watching Slice Network, and I'm a youth voter.
Folks, as we were away at commercial break, the officiating crew put the ball down pretty quickly, so we were unable to catch a great return by the senior Larry Smith as he returns it up to the 46. So a good return by the senior. Sets up Grandview in a pretty good spot here at the 46. Handoff, Lee, Jarrell Alexander. It's going to be a reverse to Lofton. It's not Lofton, excuse me, but is up to the 41. So a good gain by Grandview as, again, Coach Leach and his bunch still has that fight that we've talked about all year. They are down 38 points, but there is no give up in this Grandview squad as it was another Grandview first down. So Grandview, first down and 10. Lee will slip and fall, and unfortunately that will bring up a second down and probably 10. So they'll actually lose 4 on the play. That'll bring up a second and 14 for Grandview. Hey, we'd like to give a shout-out to Helen and Sharon who are listening. Sharon's husband, Neil Mickelson, went to Grandview High School and graduated all the way back in 1962. So welcome, Helen and Sharon, who are checking us out tonight on Slice. Play goes around the right side. Pick up about 6 on the play. Once again, really appreciate the viewership. We spoke earlier about Miss Houston, new English teacher here at Grandview High School. Thank you, Helen and Sharon, for checking us out tonight on the Slice Network. Leave us a comment down in the comments box. If it's a good one, we'll be sure to mention you live here on the air. Lee out to throw to the flat, and that pass intended for Tyson drops incomplete. Want to give a shout-out to Lynn Bettis, who asked us, what do you think Grandview needs to do to put some points up? Well, Lynn, they're doing it right now. They're making a drive here. Unfortunately, it is 4th down. Probably the biggest thing, Lynn, is keep us from getting those penalties, which they've avoided so far here in the second half. It is 4th down. So we will see, Lynn, what Grandview has in store to maybe keep this drive going. So Lee back to throw. Lee is going to loft it up, and it is almost intercepted by number 20 for the Bulldogs. That's their best cornerback, Torrey Kurtz. He does drop the ball, but that will bring up 1st down for Kearney. So here we are, 3rd down. 38-0 Kearney here at Grandview High School. If you'd like to promote your business, visit myslicetv.com or contact us. We offer advertising slots during our live games, plus affordable banner rates on our beautifully designed website. Contact us at myslicetv.com. There's a run play over the left side. That will go for a 1st down. It's Broughton again, the 1,000-yard rusher, and he's shown us tonight how he's got all those yards and all the accolades, and he's deserving of every one as he runs for another 1st down for Kearney. So 4:14 and ticking here in the 3rd quarter. So Davis still in the game. Cole Davis with an unbelievable night tonight, running and throwing the ball tonight. We had mentioned earlier only 4 interceptions on the year for Davis, and he's shown why he is held in such high regard here in the Kansas City Metro, along with his running mate in the backfield, Brock Broughton, kind of a two-headed monster. And one thing we haven't talked about tonight, folks, is Kearney's offensive line. They have not allowed much penetration. There's only been a few times when Davis has had his feet moving, when he's been hurried. Their line has done a really good job. So maybe after the game he could buy those guys a pie or maybe dinner or something, because Davis has not been dirty at all tonight because of that Kearney offensive line that's just done such a great job this evening. Pitch back to Broughton. Over the left side. Good blocking as that's well blocked, and Broughton is still up. He's at the 30, 25-20, 15, 10-5, and another touchdown. Kearney Bulldogs. So that touchdown run by Broughton brings it to 44-0. Kearney leads it. Again, it's Weir on for the extra point as he has been so good tonight. So 44-0 here on senior night. Kick is up by Weir, and the kick once again is good. So his perfect evening continues, and the perfect evening for Kearney also continues as they lead at 45-0 here at Grandview High School on Slice TV. Once again, we really want to send a monster thank you to Days, House of Compassion. We can't say enough about the things they do for Slice TV and the young men who aid us on these broadcasts. So Days, House of Compassion, thank you so much for your continued support. Once again, we spoke about Days, a nonprofit organization here right in Grandview. It's a treatment facility that works with young men and helps them to be successful and to reach their goals. So thank you, Days, so much for your continued support. We could not have done this without you. Once again, check us out, myslicetv.com. Join us on Facebook or check us out on Twitter. Post exclusive content, and we keep you up to date on future broadcasts and events. So go to myslicetv.com and click like and follow. Here's the kickoff. It is not going to be returned this time. So it is down at the 28-yard line. So Grandview, a point shortage epidemic here. So far, due to an excellent Kearney defense, Coach Leach stressed to us, this is the best team we will play all year. They are sound in every phase of the game. And he had mentioned how good their defense is with that 3-3-5 stack. And so far, it has been perfect as they are holding Grandview to no points in the shutout so far this evening. Lee back to throw. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run. He's up to the 30, up to the 35, up to the 40-yard line before he scampers out of bounds for a Grandview. I'm sorry, he is marked just short. That is a tough spot there on the officiating crew. He looked like he had easily crossed the first down marker there. So they will be short. It is second down and 2, a minute 7 here in the third quarter here on Slice. Handoff up the middle. That time it is Jarrell Alexander once again. Goes forward for a first down for Grandview. So we've kind of seen tonight the Grandview line's done a pretty good job of protecting both Lee and setting some nice holes for the running backs as Grandview gets another first down rushing. Jarrell Alexander leads all rushers for tonight. Lee under center. He's going to look to throw out to the flat. That's Tyson. That's a 45 up to the 50, up to the 45, up to the 40 before he's pushed out on a nice gain. Beautiful throw out to the flat by Lee, as Dyson is finally pushed out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. So a nice pickup. Nice pickup. Again, Lee showing the arm strength. Throws it out there to Dyson, who gets the first down. Again, if you'd like to promote your business, visit myslicetv.com and contact us. We offer several advertising slots during this live broadcast, plus affordable banner rates on our beautifully designed website. So check us out at myslicetv.com. So, folks, we have some rain coming into the area. Looks almost like a big Halloween pumpkin on the map there as I checked weather.com at halftime. So rain moving into the area, but hopefully we can get this game in before we cause any harm to any of the equipment. 14 seconds remaining. Handoff to Jarrell Alexander. He stays on his feet. A pretty athletic move down inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Is Jarrell Alexander, who has put together two really, really good games in a row for Grandview. He played an awesome game last week against Belton, and he's doing the same tonight against a very good Kearney team. And looking to the future, Jarrell will be one of the young men next year who will be a leader on this Grandview team, as he is only a junior. So Grandview gets a timeout. It's third quarter here at Grandview High School. Kearney 45, Grandview 0. So we begin the fourth quarter here. Last home game for many of these seniors. Here on the turf, they get the turf their senior year, so something they definitely will not forget. As we begin the fourth quarter here. So Ryan Lee is rushed. He's going to get away. He's going to throw it. He's got a receiver open and caught. The catch is made at the 5-yard line. That is Harvey Kendall. Number 85 making a beautiful catch. So you see Lee with the arm strength as he throws that one about 25, 30 yards in the air with great touch, great accuracy, and it's Kendall who runs under it for a Grandview first down as they are within scoring distance at the Kearney 5-yard line. And hold on, folks. They are going to call this one back. So, once again, penalties is something Coach Leach and I'm sure his staff will cover in great detail over the next few days as they prepare for their game next week against Liberty North. So a long pass play to Kendall is reversed, and Lee will go under center here, 2nd and 8. He will throw out to the flat. Again, Kendall, catch, but he is brought down for a loss as it is number 57 for Kearney. That's Garrett Tanking, the junior. 57 looks like Kearney has put in some different personnel maybe to finish this one out here with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So Lee back in the shotgun. It is Alexander to his right. Lee's going to throw. He is blitzed again. He steps up into the pocket. Pass is complete over the middle. And down Ivan Lofton inside the 20-yard line. That'll be enough for a Grandview first down. Down to the 18-yard line is Lofton. So senior to seniors, it's Lee to Lofton for a pickup of about 17 down to the Kearney 18. So Lee and Lofton in their final game here on the brand new turf here at Grandview High School. They will throw, and that ball was intended for number 2, Jarrell Alexander. As he threw out to the flat, and unfortunately that is dropping for an incompletion. So 9 minutes and counting, and what has been an erupting volcano of Kearney points this evening, 45-0, as Coach Leach and what he said comes true as Kearney is one of the better. And that's a touchdown. A Grandview High School touchdown as Ryan Lee connects in the corner of the end zone to fellow senior Ivan Lofton for a Grandview touchdown. So the play goes for 18 yards. It's Lee to Lofton, senior to senior, for a touchdown. And with the extra point coming, the point is up, and it looked like it was partially tipped, and it's no good. So Kearney leads it 45-6. Kearney leads it 45-6. Here, 8:51 left on senior night here at Grandview High School. So, folks, here at Grandview High School this senior night. Let's mention some of these seniors as they come out on the field for their last quarter of play on the turf. Pete Britton, Simeon Brooks, Carl Evans, Nicholas Frank, Corey Fox, Uriah Guy, Chance Jones, Ryan Lee, Ivan Lofton, Roger Lucher, Josiah Quick, Christian Serrano, Larry Smith, Zane Snipes, Weston Teal, Kilo, Akil Williams, and Austin Willoughby playing their last game tonight for Grandview. The blue and the gold, what a senior class it's been as they've stuck together all 4 years. They still have at least 2 more games remaining. Liberty North next week, and then district play, of course, after that. The kick is off, and the kick is returned at the 25, at the 26, and finally brought down is Wagner, the return man for Kearney. 45-6. And once again, as you think about the senior class, one of the first young men you think about is Ryan Lee, one of the chiefs of this group of seniors, a 4-year starting quarterback here at the high school, as he is now down to his final 8 minutes here on the turf at Grandview High. Run play left side, and he is tackled and brought down by, looks like number 26 for Grandview. Justin Obasi, the junior, getting into the game, and Weston Teal, the senior, also in on the play. 2nd and 12 here for Kearney from their own 33-yard line. New quarterback in for the Bulldogs. Number 9, Austin Heath is the new quarterback. Excuse me. He is a junior, and you would think would be the successor to Cole Davis, who's had just a fantastic night tonight for Kearney as they lead at 45-6. He's done it with his feet, but he's also done it through the air tonight as well. So his evening is over. And they have also brought in a new running back as well, as Broughton has now left the game. So he will get a little rest going into next week's game for Kearney. They will hand it off. This time it's to number 27, Kyrie Bosler. Only a sophomore, so good future ahead for Bosler, number 27, as he picks up a first down for Kearney. So the rain begins to pour here at Grandview High School as we have a storm approaching us from the south. I might have to stop and get some chicken McNuggets or something on the way home. It's got a chuckle from our executive producer, Sheldon Neal, who has done a fantastic job all year with the Slice broadcast. And it looked like there's a timeout on the field. So Kearney takes the timeout, and they lead at 45-6 over Grandview here on senior night. Dick Smith Ford and Grandview High School, together forever. Why? The Smith family are graduates of Grandview, with Dick Smith Ford owners Mark and Phil Smith playing football on the team way back in the day. Both the Dick Smith Ford team and the Grandview football team continue to turn out winners. Dick Smith Ford was recently named the best domestic car dealer in Kansas City by the readers of Ingram's magazine for the 3rd straight year. And Grandview football promises to deliver yet another great season, and they have with these seniors. So if you're looking for a new or a used car, truck, SUV, some great service, or whatever you need, go see the Smith family at Dick Smith Ford, just 7 minutes from the Triangle on 350 Highway in Raytown. Dick Smith Ford, Kansas City, and Grandview's Ford family since 1953. And breaking away for a touchdown for Kearney. No, he will be brought down. He will be brought down as good hustle Coming from the back for the Bulldogs, not giving up on the play, is Uriah Guy, but not after a big run by number 27 for Grandview, and that was the young man we just talked about, Kyrie Bosler, the sophomore. He makes a big run, and he'll give up Kearney first down and goal from the Grandview 1 with 5.5 minutes and ticking here at Grandview High School on senior night. So into the end zone goes number 26 for Kearney. Another sophomore, Reagan Frakes, for the Kearney Bulldog touchdown. Extra point will be on its way. Currently 51-6 Kearney. 5 minutes, 16 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. And we'd like to introduce the most important person here on the Slice Network, and that is our executive producer, Sheldon Neal. Mr. Neal, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you. Just got to say, wish it would have been a little bit more competitive game tonight, but I got to say you've done a great job tonight and a great job this season. Coach Heath Cooper, you've done a great job announcing these games. We definitely appreciate it and hearing a lot of positive feedback. Great work.
Well, I appreciate it. Some of you might not know the story. It kind of just happened by chance. I'm actually a teacher here at the high school, and I was fortunate enough that Mr. Neal asked me kind of on the last second. The original play-by-play guy was sick on opening night here at Grandview High School, and I was actually out flipping hot dogs on our school carnival here and got called to the booth. And frankly, I'm so new to the school that I didn't know much about the Grandview team, let alone the other team on that evening, which I believe was Platte County that night. No, I'm not sure what team. I can't remember. It might have been Chrisman. I'm not sure. But very, very fortunate to get the opportunity to work with you, Sheldon, along with Marcos Thomas, who I'm very lucky to have in class, is one of the better students at the high school here. Anthony Peterson as well on the camera, Dion Peterson, and, of course, Chris Gunn this evening doing a good job. So thank you, Sheldon, for giving me the opportunity to work with such a good staff here at Slice.
We appreciate that. We've got a really, really good group of students helping us out, and we're here really early, about 3 p.m., quite a few hours before the game starts, setting wires out, and, getting these games rolling. Like I said, the students are working really, really hard. And so, with them plus you announcing these games, it's been a complete success, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback. Great work, everybody.
And the thing, Sheldon, I thought is so neat about what the students have done is every week there's a new wrinkle, there's a new camera angle, there's something new, a new interview, as you saw tonight from Chris Gunn, something new. They're learning on the job. They're learning some skills in the audiovisual area, so they continue to do a good job, and every week our broadcast has gotten better and better and better, and I could do this all year. It's just really inspiring to see Grandview High School students doing this type of work. So as we are speaking, there we go, senior to senior once again. It is Ryan Lee to Ivan Lofton, who runs under that one for about, that might have been a 50-yard gain. That'll bring up first down Grandview, 4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here on senior night.
Just to get back what you were saying, we're adding new features almost each game all throughout this season. This work is hard work. It looks like it's fun, and a lot of people think it's just flip on a camera and go. It takes a lot of work, but these students they've learned quick, and we push ourselves. We don't get lazy and just stay the same. We try to add a new feature to each game, and it's been a lot of fun. These students are really sharp, and we're all pushing each other to make this broadcast even better every single game. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Sheldon, one of the things I've really been impressed with is it's just such a professional broadcast. And for you to be able to take high school age students and turn out something this professional is nothing short of amazing. So there is Freedom Akeem Aladdin all the way down to the 5-yard line. So again, you see that fight. That is always apparent with Coach Leach's team. They do not give up. They keep going. There's only 3 minutes left. They're down pretty big here, but they do not give up, and they're looking to maybe punch it in here on Kearney late. So they call this one back as well, folks. And it's frankly quite amazing that seems like every big play that Grandview has had tonight seems to be brought back, with the exception of a couple due to penalties. So Ryan Lee back to throw. He's got Lofton. Oh, and just long, but Lofton had his man by a step or two. So a good throw. It's just a little bit short. Again, senior to senior, folks. 2 minutes remaining. Let's mention these seniors one last time. This class of 2013, number 19, Pete Brenton, number 55, Simeon Brooks, number 34, Carl Evans, number 15, Nicholas Frank, number 58, Corey Fox, number 3, Uriah Guy, number 11, Homecoming King, Chance Jones. Lee back to throw. Across the middle. Strong throw is complete to Ivan Lofton, right across the middle for a great gain down to the 5 of Kearney. Clock is moving here with the minute 25. So great pass by Lee. He's really shown a lot of growth these last 2 games. Ivan Lofton, another senior. Roger Lucher, number 82. Complete, out in the flat, but taken down quickly and out of bounds for the Bulldogs is number 31, Desmond Tyson, who's been a hero for the Bulldogs the last couple of weeks offensively, making some big catches. He will be back next year. Folks, we just have one camera angle now. It is raining outside, and didn't want to possibly damage some of the equipment, so just the one camera angle here as we count the clock down on this last game for the seniors here on the turf. And Lee, pushing hard, is down to the 1-yard line. Now that clock is moving. I think Coach Leach will get a timeout. And that will give us more time to mention for the last time some of these seniors. A young man who we have called out so many times this season, Josiah Quick, number 72, has been just a beast on the offensive and defensive lines this year. Number 79, Christian Serrano. Number 21, Larry Smith, a young man who we saw earlier with the big return. Number 77, one of the offensive linemen for Grandview High School, Zane Snipes. Number 63, Weston Teal, a young man we saw go out for the coin flip tonight. Number 68, young man I'm fortunate to have in class. Number is Kilo Akil Williams. Akil with his wonderful girlfriend, Victoria Clark. And finally, our last senior, number 16, Austin Willoughby. Seniors, thank you so much. As we get a touchdown on the play as it's Ryan Lee. Oh, Jarrell Alexander, I'm sorry, on the carry for the Grandview touchdown. So Grandview, with 2 late touchdowns here. Just a little bit late, but again, you can see the fight from this Grandview team. They do not give up. Going for 2, it's Lee. Down to the middle, look the other way, and the 2-point conversion is complete. The 2-point conversion is good. As Lee throws out into the flat to complete the 2-point conversion to Terry Thompson, a junior. So, folks, you see Coach Picard, one of the new art teachers here at Grandview High School. He's actually coached, I believe this is his third year at the high school, his first year as a teacher here at the high school. But Grandview, folks, has a very bright future ahead of them. They do have at least 2 more games, but since this is senior night, we could talk about the seniors, and we have in great detail. But let's talk about some of these underclassmen that will be back next year. Jarrell Alexander, Appa Visenya, Javon Turner will be back. Desmond Tyson will be back. And among others who will be returning next year for Coach Leach and this Bulldog team on the brand new turf here at Grandview High School. A little rain testing it out tonight as it's starting to come down pretty hard here. Kickoff will be returned. That's number 87. There's a big hole up the middle. Number 87 is finally brought down. Ryan Watkins, the returner for Kearney. So with 18 seconds and ticking, we are down to 10 seconds. 11. So that'll be it here on senior night at Grandview High School. Final score, 51 for the Kearney Bulldogs and Grandview 14. See ya, folks, from Slice Network.